Y yo quiero que todos le demos un aplauso y nuestro reconocimiento al equipo de los 100 millones. Tienen la responsabilidad de marcar la energía de este evento. Así que si allá se quedan quietos, ustedes no se pueden quedar quietos, porque son la vida azul. En los que vas a vivir de la mano de los líderes más importantes de la compañía aquí en Tarima, a quienes ves ahí, hemos hecho esos banners especiales para ellos con una obra de arte y con un reconocimiento a su liderazgo. Demos un aplauso desde ya y la bienvenida a todos los capacitadores de la compañía que nos van a acompañar aquí en Tarima en el transcurso de estos 3 días. Son cerca de 35 personas de este país centroamericano. Sé que están sentados ahí atrás, allá veo a uno levantando la mano. Quiero que todos ellos saben de quién estoy hablando yo, porque son personas que llevan un año diciéndole a la compañía, acá estamos. Quiero que pongan encima de las sillas, ellos saben de quién estoy hablando. Es un país nuevo, centroamericano, y yo quiero que me ayuden a darle la bienvenida como se merece a esos 35 titanes de El Salvador. Con Nicaragua, bienvenidos por primera vez. Con un país también que abrió hace menos de 6 meses, con un liderazgo espectacular, con un cariño espectacular, y que estoy seguro que este 2015, antes de cerrar, van a demostrar todo el liderazgo y toda la potencia que ellos tienen. Unidos, démosle la bienvenida a Guatemala. De nosotros, y últimamente han pasado muchísimos retos, no solo en su país, también como liderazgo, también como compañía, pero ellos nos vienen demostrando desde hace 2 años quiénes son y que están ahí liderando una transformación de vida en ese espectacular país que es Venezuela. Latinoamericanos que desde este país aceptaron y dieron sí a la oportunidad de transformar el destino de muchos latinos que viven allí. Son ellos el pequeño país, por ahora, de Estados Unidos. Démosles un aplauso porque para darle la bienvenida a un país, es un país espectacular, que estoy seguro que muy pronto va a empezar a dar mucho de qué hablar en la compañía. Démosle la bienvenida a nuestros hermanos chilenos. Ya he tenido la oportunidad de estar con ellos en varias noches de éxito y quiero que le demos la bienvenida a este espectacular país de Bolivia. Dios mío, me pusieron a picar, pero más no se podía. Y yo quiero verlos, quiero ubicarlos. ¿Dónde está ese bellísimo país de México? ¡Viva México, bendición de trabajar de la mano. Es un país de gente hermosa, es un país que acaba recientemente de tener su primer diamante en su historia. Yo quiero que Fusion, miren, les voy a poner un ejemplo de este país. El año pasado, este país tuvo 15 representantes en alumbra en Quito, Ecuador. Y este año le agregaron un 0 a esa participación. Y tenemos hoy 150 empresarios de mi queridísima Panamá. Que como su líder viven con una pasión total permanentemente. Trabajo con ellos también de manera permanente en el desarrollo de ese bellísimo país, en poderles brindar todas las herramientas para que ellos puedan desarrollar todo ese tremendo potencial que tiene la bellísima Costa Rica. Más de 1000 personas a alumbra, rompiendo todos los récords de asistencia en alumbra. Un país que quiero muchísimo porque nací allí, porque vivo allí, porque no hay país más apasionado que este, no hay país con más berriondera, carajo, que mi Colombia. A ser mejores y hacer mejor las cosas. Es un país bellísimo, es un país hermoso, lleno de liderazgo, lleno de diamantes, lleno de amor. Gracias, Ecuador. pie y en un solo grito recibamos a una persona, a un visionario que antes de que nosotros creyéramos que era posible, Él lo creyó posible. Recibamos al tarima a nuestro presidente fundador, el señor Álvaro.
Este proceso previo de la transformación. No hay conquista posible, poderosa, si antes no hay el deseo coherente desde lo básico, desde lo esencial para transformar. Hoy quiero que nos detengamos con claridad en el entendimiento que van a haber 3 días poderosísimos, 3 días de transformación total, 3 días donde la información te ingresa, pero te ingresa para ser parte de ti, para que tu cerebro se expanda a un nuevo nivel y desde ahí tu espíritu se convierta en esa versión siempre mejor de ti. 3 días de transformación. Hoy declaramos 3 poderosos días de transformación total. Curiosos y que se ocupaban de la ciencia, del conocimiento científico de aquel entonces, era para ellos encontrar esta piedra filosofal que podría convertir el plomo en oro y encontrar esa fuente de la eterna juventud o de la vida eterna. Y bien, estos científicos creen que encontraron esta piedra filosofal. Bueno, en este siglo tenemos, incluso el siglo anterior, entendemos. Entonces, el tema es muy simple. Teóricamente, si le sacamos estos 3 elementos al plomo, pues convertimos oro a partir del plomo. ¿Y saben qué? En 1980 se hizo este experimento en este, siguiente por favor, en este colisionador de partículas. ¿Alguien ha escuchado hablar del acelerador de partículas? El ladrón.
Tiene 1 kilómetro de diámetro.
Tiraron estas partículas, las llevaron a velocidad por encima de la velocidad de luz o cercanas a la velocidad de luz y pudieron sacar 3 paquetes de información. Y en esos 3 paquetes de información pudieron obtener oro del plomo. Con más de $1.000 millones pudieron obtener pequeñas cantidades infinitesimales de oro, que no valen más de algunos centavos. Pero lo hicieron. Y esto nos demuestra que la ciencia va avanzando y va dando razón a algunas hipótesis que nacen del sentido común. ¿Cómo no ser posible que detrás de cada sustancia haya los mismos elementos? Y si hay los mismos elementos, ¿por qué no, con esa parte esencial, convertir un elemento en otro? Pues la física cuántica lo entendió, y los resultados de esta experiencia que se hizo en 1980 nos demostró que los alquimistas de aquel entonces tenían razón. Y curiosos como somos, este entendimiento nos conectó con nuestra propia curiosidad, nos conectó con ciertas interrogantes que teníamos. Como ustedes bien saben, siguiente por favor, como ustedes bien saben, en nuestros alimentos, en nuestra dieta diaria, hay ciertos microelementos como las vitaminas y los minerales. ¿Y cuál es el tema con los minerales? Que estas partículas, que las podemos encontrar en la tabla periódica de elementos, esta para estar al tope, el potencial, nos genera ciertos beneficios que voy a ser bien rápido a mencionarlos. Siguiente por favor. Por ejemplo, el calcio, ustedes saben perfectamente que es esencial para la formación y el buen mantenimiento de los huesos, de los dientes, que es esencial para una adecuada irrigación sanguínea, que es esencial para normalizar, en la medida que sirve para ciertas funciones musculares, normalizar las funciones cardíacas, es esencial incluso para algunos temas que tienen que ver con el sistema nervioso central. Y si nos vamos al siguiente elemento, el magnesio, ustedes seguramente también saben perfectamente que este elemento que está en los alimentos es esencial para, por ejemplo, tener buen funcionamiento de nuestro sistema nervioso central, que es esencial también para cuando estás estresado y tú recibes la dosis adecuada de magnesio, pues mantienes el estrés totalmente reducido a los niveles sanos. Estos elementos, para otras funciones, es esencial el zinc para una buena salud reproductiva, sexual. También es esencial el zinc para generar masa muscular, porque ayuda a la síntesis proteica. Y luego tenemos el hierro, que lo que hace, le da ese color característico a la sangre, rojo, y que nos permite llevar oxígeno a través de la hemoglobina. Y en la medida que lleva oxígeno, uno puede estar como ahora, totalmente enfocado, totalmente concentrado en las actividades que nosotros realizamos. Y estos minerales que son esenciales, de que están en los alimentos, como ustedes saben perfectamente, pues ya lo saben, pues si bien están en los alimentos, dada nuestro día a día, dado nuestros ritmos tan intensos de la vida moderna, pues tenemos más del mundo, la conoce. ¿Y qué hacemos? ¡Tarán! Gran idea, pues suplementamos con estos microelementos. Eso, digamos, todos lo conocemos. Y acá viene el desafío. Y acá viene el tema. Y acá viene lo que nos conecta con los alquimistas de aquel entonces, la curiosidad que nos hace ver cómo podemos hacerlo distinto. Resulta que les tengo que informar que estos elementos, que cuando están junto con materia viva, con materia viva, con materia que tiene la información y la energía que da vida y que son compuestos orgánicos, porque tiene elementos de carbón, de oxígeno y de nitrógeno, pues cuando está dentro de un alimento y es parte constitutiva, uno sí lo absorbe. Pero cuando se suplementa desde afuera, el calcio, el hierro y el zinc y el magnesio como ejemplo, pues no lo terminas de metabolizar. Realidad. Esto es como que yo necesito hierro para no tener anemia, para descansar adecuadamente o estar muy concentrado, y tomo una pequeña limadura de hierro y me la como que me comí en el micro. Ocurre que pasa por el estómago, llega al intestino y el intestino dice, no tiene la información de un producto alimenticio y no se asimila al 100%. Con suerte se asimila al 5%, 10%, 15%. Esa es la realidad. Así era antes. Y así es en cualquier suplemento mineral. Hay una dificultad, porque si bien el estómago, con los ácidos grasos, póngase la mano en el estómago, sientan su estómago. Una vez que hay alimentos ahí, se tienen un montón de reacciones que se desdoblan y van al intestino delgado. El intestino delgado tiene inteligencia. Dice, ¿es alimento o no? Y si no es alimento, no le abre la puerta. No le abre la puerta. Simplemente no le abre la puerta. Uno come limaduras y quizás con suerte un 5%. Bueno, no limaduras específicamente, ¿no? Pero sí compuestos, por ejemplo, sulfato ferroso de fierro. Realidad. Pero ¿y por qué no darle vida? ¿Por qué no darle vida a este material inorgánico? Esto que está en la tabla periódica química como productos inorgánicos, ¿por qué no darle así como un alquimista moderno? Pensar que se puede convertir de algo inorgánico a orgánico. En algún lado debe haber científicos, debe haber alguna organización que ha pensado esto igual que nosotros. Tiene que existir alguien que haya entendido que la anemia, cuando la tenemos, no se acaba con una tableta de sulfato ferroso, y las madres que han tenido hijos lo saben perfectamente, que lo primero que les da es constipación estomacal. Se asimila, algo se asimila, algo mejor que nada. Vamos poniendo ese algo, pero ¿por qué no hacemos algo distinto? ¿Por qué no agarramos a estas cuatro iones, 4 átomos inorgánicos y les ponemos un elemento que tenga ese mismo material que tiene, por ejemplo, el rango al que muchos de ustedes lo están alcanzando o ya lo tienen en mente, que es el diamante, que es el carbón. El carbono es la fuente de la vida misma. Somos una estructura que a través del carbono, oxígeno y nitrógeno nos hemos podido duplicar a nosotros mismos y crear así células que se regeneran y crear inteligencia celular para hacer lo que hoy día somos e ir tras nuestros sueños. ¿Por qué no ponerle una molécula de carbón, una molécula de nitrógeno, una de oxígeno? ¿Por qué no? ¿Por qué no buscar un aminoácido que esté unido, no junto, pegado, sino unido a este ion, como un aminoácido tan esencial como este que se llama ahí, que se llama la glicina, y que tiene perfectamente esa información celular. Al doctor Ryan Davis, por favor, que es miembro de Innovox, nuestro... ¿Me trae un micro, por favor? Representante de Innovox es una empresa aliada hoy a Fusion, con la cual hemos llegado a poderle dar solución a este tema y que aún en el mercado no ha llegado. Seremos prácticamente en América Latina los primeros en llevar esta tecnología de protonarte a glutonarte.
Muchas gracias.
Y así como en el futuro crearemos nuevas tecnologías con la impresionante infraestructura que ellos tienen para todo el proceso de quelación de minerales que es el proceso en el cual se une el mineral a un aminoácido, a materia que tiene código de información de la vida misma, que generará patentes para nosotros, porque serán nuestras innovaciones. Hoy ya tenemos un acuerdo de aquello que ellos ya han elaborado, que tiene pura ciencia, puro respaldo científico de las universidades más prestigiosas de Estados Unidos, como por ejemplo el MIT, que es el Instituto Tecnológico de Massachusetts, sobre no solamente la biodisponibilidad, sino los efectos en el organismo.
Significa tener certeza y tranquilidad de que tus finanzas estén en orden. Envejecerás tranquilo
y sobre todo, estás construyendo un futuro para ti y tu familia. ¿Te sientes solo? ¿No te sientes valorado? ¿Odias los lunes? Pues te falta salud emocional. La salud emocional significa ser feliz, disfrutar los días, tener amigos y que tus círculos sociales sean personas positivas con sed de triunfo. Es sentirse pleno, con alta autoestima, luchando por tus sueños y ayudando a otros a alcanzar los suyos. La salud verdadera se basa en esos tres aspectos fundamentales. Si te falta uno, ¿qué puedes hacer? ¿Y qué pasa si te faltan más de uno? Tranquilo, tenemos la solución perfecta. Desde los Andes y la misteriosa selva amazónica, Fusion, la poderosa multinacional que desarrolló la fusión nutracéutica, lanza para ti una promesa: la salud verdadera. En Fusion tenemos todas las herramientas para que trabajes y evoluciones en cada aspecto de tu vida y le des el toque que te falta. A través de nuestros productos nutracéuticos, que en sus fórmulas secretas contienen ingredientes milenarios con biotecnología de punta, aportamos lo necesario para que alcances la salud física plena. Con nuestro poderoso y agresivo plan de pagos, soportado por una sólida compañía internacional, un equipo corporativo élite y nuestro enfoque transformador, tu salud financiera está más que lista para desarrollarse con éxito. Y con nuestra escuela de líderes, donde nos enfocamos en tu desarrollo personal, liderazgo y expansión, tienes lo necesario para poner a tope tu salud emocional. Salud verdadera es evolución. Tiempo para estar con tu familia, estar saludable y en forma. Salud verdadera es abrazar a tu familia, estar en el festival de tus hijos, tener confianza en el futuro. Salud verdadera es articulaciones más sanas, administrar tu tiempo y dinero, tener un corto. Salud verdadera es la universidad que tú elijas, el auto perfecto y el departamento de tus sueños. Salud verdadera es viajar, compartir, trabajar en un ambiente feliz. Salud verdadera es ayudar, dormir un poco más por las mañanas, evitar la hora punta del café. Salud verdadera es entrenar, disfrutar tus alimentos, estar lleno de energía. Salud verdadera es lo que tú quieres. Salud verdadera es Fusion. Únete, pregúntale cómo a ti te
¿Sí? ¿Estás ahí, Carví?
Hola.
Estoy un poco tímido, Carví. Hola, Carví. ¿Cómo estás?
Aquí estoy.
Ahí está. Perfecto, Carví. Quiero que me hagas un favor. Vamos a grabar un video ahorita. Les cuento la introducción a esto para que entiendan. Mi mamá, como mucha gente de ustedes, seguramente les preguntan: hijito, ¿tú en qué trabajas? ¿Sabes eso? Mi mamá me tiene hinchado con: hijito, ¿tú en qué trabajas? Sale con sus amigas y le dice: ¿qué es el Claudito? Ah, trabaja en Fusion. ¿Y qué hace? No sé. Entonces yo me siento y le explico que soy director de comunicaciones y estrategias digitales. O sea, ella entiende algo así como: entonces yo quiero grabarle, solo me dice: ¿tú estás tranquilo? ¿Te gusta tu trabajo? Le digo: me encanta. Es un lugar donde me siento de maravilla y una gente espectacular. Entonces, lo que vamos a hacer es que Carpín me va a presentar, ¿ya? Y cuando él me presente, yo voy a salir al escenario grabándome y tú vas a pararte de tu asiento, miénteme un ratito y me vas a aplaudir como si fuera una mezcla de Ricky Martin, Luis y Miguel, Pillón, todo lo que tú quieras, ¿ya?
Y estrategias digitales. Claudio
somos multimillonarios, capacitándonos.
That I sent out to promote the event, where I talked about the importance of major events like Alumbra and what they do for people. If you remember, I talked about this process of getting people over the line, meaning getting them to the tipping point, or the point of no return, where they own this, where they know this, where they absolutely, the first real defining moment for me was when I was 15 years old. I was in jail for armed robbery. I've been, for you guys who don't know my story, I had been a teenage alcoholic, a teenage drug addict. I made a lot of very poor choices. And they culminated with me getting arrested, burglary, armed robbery, sitting in a jail cell at 15 years old. And one day there were some keys jingling in the lock and the door opened, and this man that I did not know walked in. He was the father of my best friend's girlfriend, a girl I went to school with. And he was a teacher. and his daughter had pleaded with him, please go see Randy in jail. Find some way to help Randy. He had never met me. He did a little study on me, and he came into that jail cell that day. And he told me something which was shocking to me. He told me, you don't belong here. You're capable of great things. Wow, that was so crazy to me to hear that. You don't belong here. You're capable of great things. Because nobody had ever told me anything like that. Nobody ever suggested that I was capable of great things. What I heard, probably if I heard it once, I heard it 1,000 times, was, how could somebody so smart be so stupid? I heard that all my life. How could someone so smart be so stupid? So now this school teacher, his name was Baxter, he's standing in my jail cell and he says, you don't belong here. I've read your file. I called some of your teachers. They told me that you skipped school for 3 or 4 weeks straight, and then you come in and you still pass the test. Your reading comprehension test scores are higher than college graduates. You're a really bright person, and you can do great things. Well, as shocking as that seemed to me, I so desperately wanted to believe it that I believed it. And because I believed it, that became a defining moment in my life, where I actually believed in myself. I believed that I was capable of getting out of that jail cell, of doing great things, of making something in my life, of my life. And that's your opportunity today, is making that choice. Deciding if after this conversation with me, all of the amazing things you've heard today, Alvaro opening the session with the delivery mechanism about getting the nutrients from the minerals, the mobile app, the social media network, all of the technology that you have to work with, all of the leaders you're going to hear their stories tonight, what I want to share with you, everything you're going to hear tomorrow and Saturday, it's all going to come down to a choice where you are going to decide what you do with what you have. With this amazing platform of business opportunity and health and wellness, which you have in the palm of your hand, and you have the opportunity to do something that can transform your life forever. And even more importantly, it gives you the opportunity to transform the lives of hundreds and thousands and even tens of thousands of people beside yourself. This is amazing. Now, let me give you the bad news. I came here to make you uncomfortable. I came here to make you nervous, anxious, a little upset, where you say, is he looking right at me? Is he challenging me for this? Is he getting in my face and telling me that I need to be doing this? Yeah. That's exactly what I'm doing. Now, we're going to work with technology. As you can see, I'm actually being subtitled on the screens up here because there's not a single company of translation in the entire country of Peru which has 10,000 headsets. Nobody has that many, so I'm speaking, they're hearing it in the booth, and then they're typing it on this screen that you're seeing. So even though you can't always be looking in my eye, and I can't always be looking in your eye, that's what the screen is for, because that's me doing my job today, which is to make you uncomfortable. Because here's the thing about diamonds. This, I don't know what we would call this epic conference venue by the Pacific Ocean. How many people here want to become a diamond? Well, we got a couple hundred diamonds, I think, already hanging around up here. I think I heard about 9,000 and some more people who say they want to become a diamond. But here's the thing about diamonds. They are created by intense pressure. In nature and in our business, diamonds are not created easily. Now here's the thing about an event like Alumbra. You come here because you want to learn skills. You want to gain confidence. You want to build belief. You want to learn how to do things better, faster, quicker, and easier. So that would be, if we summed it up, you'd say, well, I'm going to Alumbra. I'm going to the convention because I want to learn how to become a diamond easier. here's the bad news. I'm here to tell you that to become a diamond, it's going to have to get harder. You're going to have to create your own pressure. Because you are going to have to create the stress, the pressure, the intensity in your life that causes you to compress like a diamond and become that diamond. So that's not easy because it means you have to get uncomfortable. See, most speakers, you've got a lot of amazing speakers here. I see you're going to have John Maxwell on Saturday. I know John, we've worked together before, brilliant guy. You got other speakers all weekend. And I think every speaker comes to an event like this with the same wish that people will love their session and that will be their favorite session of the whole convention. That they will say, oh man, that session from Javier was so amazing. It changed my whole life. That was my favorite. That's what we want as speakers every time we go to a convention. But as I talked with Alvaro and his brother and Lina, some of your diamonds, and knew I'm going to have this chance to speak with you and share some thoughts, I made a different decision. I made the decision that I want you to hate my session. And people say, oh, how was Randy Gage? I heard he was at your convention. And you say, he was the worst. I hated him. He was so mean. He got in my face and he challenged me. And he told me I'm not doing enough. He told me I have to work harder. He said I have to do more, have more, and become more. Things that make you uncomfortable. Because becoming a diamond is a breakthrough. And your compensation plan to reach the rank of diamond is a really big deal. The people who have done that have exhibited extraordinary leadership, tenaciousness, perseverance, hard work, and just visionary leadership for the organization. They've faced more rejections, more dropouts, more no-shows, more of all of the challenges that you are trying to avoid. Right? Like, none of us like no-shows. We don't ever want a no-show in our business. We don't like to have people tell us no. We don't like to be rejected. We hate it when people drop out. But part of the cost of becoming diamond is to celebrate all of those challenges, to seek out those challenges. So if you saw David up here and you said, wow, I want to be like David. Well, to get to his rank, you have to have as many rejections as he did. you have to have as many no-shows. You have to have as many dropouts. Because that's the process. That's how you get to those higher ranks. So what I'm telling you here tonight is you're going to have to seek those out. You're going to have to you're going to have to endure the worst meetings of your life. Right? I mean, you look for, what you're going to see when diamond directors get together is they talk about their challenges that they've overcome. They talk about the most difficult prospects that they've had. They talk about the worst meetings that they ever conducted. When they got there and the prospects were, arms were crossed and the legs were crossed, and they were sitting in the front row and scowling, and they didn't want to be there. Maybe they heckled them, they gave them a hard time, and they might have had a meeting with a few of those people, and nobody signed up, and it was a horrible meeting. And so they get together with the other diamonds, and they tell that story. See, let me tell you what happened to me last week. I was doing this meeting. It was the worst meeting of my life. And you know what the other diamonds say? That's nothing. Let me tell you about my worst meeting. And they have a contest. And they want to know who had the worst meeting ever. And usually the person who's the top income earner in every company is usually the person that had the worst meeting and the largest amount of horrible meetings. Because that's what trained them. That's what allowed them to develop character. That's what gave them strength. That's what caused them to modify, change things, learn what worked, what didn't work, what they can do better, so they can find out what is the best processes, what is the best system, so when they get on the stage tonight and they share with you, they can tell you the things that worked. That's what they look for. And that's why they're willing to go through the hard times. They're willing to go through the mistakes, to go through the challenges, to discover the things that they need to know to be a better leader for you. Every one of you did something to get here at the rank that you got here. And obviously with almost 10,000 people here, there's been a lot of rank advancements, a lot of growth. Fusion is doing some amazing things that people all over Latin America are noticing. You should be on Facebook and Twitter and all your social media accounts talking this weekend about what's going on, because I can promise you people all over our profession are taking notice of what you're doing. And so I want you to kind of shift your mindset, if you're willing, and say, okay, I came here to learn how to do this easier, but now I'm going to switch my mindset and I'm going to discover how I need to make this more difficult for myself. Because what you did that got you to your current rank will not take you to your next rank. It just won't. That got you here. At whatever level it is, and you should celebrate that and be proud of that and wear the pin you get with pride and announce it to your organizations, but just know there were things you needed to do, skills you needed to learn, which got you to that rank, but they're not the same things or the same skills which will get you to the next rank, and the next, and the next. One of the things I've discovered with anything, athletic performance, business performance, any kind of achievement that we want to do, is you can't look good and get better at the same time. Just doesn't work that way. You can't look good and get better at the same time. If you remember when you were first learning how to ride a bicycle, and you were wobbling and you fell over and you fell down and you scraped your knee, you didn't look good, but you had to do that to get better. If you learn to play the violin, if you think of the first times you were playing and the horrible noises you made, or maybe you learned to play the piano, and the first time you were playing the piano or the guitar, you can't look good and get better at the same time. So, yeah. That means you can't have all perfect meetings. You can't have all perfect presentations. You can't have everybody joins every prospect you ever invite. You can't have that every team member you sign up always stays in the business and nobody drops out. Because if that's happening, you're not getting better. Means you got in a few safe people that you weren't afraid were going to reject you, people you knew would say yes, people who would stay in just because you wanted them to, and you're comfortable, you're safe. So that can get you to a beginning rank, but that can't get you to a serious rank. It can't get you to diamond. You've got to be willing to look bad, meaning have the bad presentations, have the dropouts, have the no-shows, have the rejections, have the bad publicity, have the haters, or the people who criticize you, or the people who tell you you're crazy, because that means you're doing something. That means you're moving forward. That means you're getting better. So what does that look like? Let's take a little time and talk some practical application so we can relate what some of these skill sets are. Because there's 4 basic skill sets that everyone in this convention hall needs to be proficient at. And not only do you need to be proficient at them, but you've got to figure out which are the ones that you need to get uncomfortable with. So let's talk about each of them, and then you be thinking about this, and afterward we'll explore, hey, what would be the area where you might need to get uncomfortable? So the first skill set is a basic one. It's the skill set of how how to meet people. This is a basic skill set, but it's a very important skill set in our profession because this is the gasoline for the car. This is the fuel for the rocket ship. This is the raw material from which diamonds are created. We've got to have people that we can introduce the opportunity to. And you hear me talk, if you've read my books and some of the other things, you know, I'm always talking about becoming a professional at what we do. And the difference between an amateur and a professional. Right? Amateurs do things for free. Amateurs do things as a hobby. Professionals get paid very well to do things. And you can see you've got a lot of people in your company who get paid very, very well. Very professional. So, if we take this example of meeting people, we say this is a skill set. Just like playing the violin is a skill, riding a bicycle is a skill, learning to play the piano is a skill. It can be developed. So an amateur would say, well, I don't know that many people. I'm not famous. I don't have a big lot of degrees. I don't travel in certain circles. I live in a small town. I just don't know as many people as those diamonds in my company do. That's what amateurs say, and that's a belief that doesn't serve you. It's a belief that will keep you broke. Because it's a limiting belief. It stops you from taking action that would actually make you successful. So what would a professional say? They would say, okay, meeting people is a skill. It's a skill I can learn, a skill I can hone, a skill I can develop. And if I'm uncomfortable with meeting people, well, that tells me that might be the one that I really need to work on. Because Gage says to become diamond, I gotta get uncomfortable. I've gotta create pressure on myself, and that means doing the things that I might not want to do. That means doing the things that maybe I hate to do. Like for me, that's the one. The meeting people. Of all the skills we do in network marketing, everything we had to learn, that one was the most difficult for me. And you know why? Because when I'm not on a stage in front of almost 10,000 people, I'm very, very shy. I'm very private, which always surprises people because I can do this and stand in front of 10,000, and this doesn't make me nervous at all. I'm comfortable, but when I have to go to a dinner party and meet somebody that I didn't know, if I was dating someone and had to meet their parents, those situations, I was just sweating and so nervous. So I learned I can be a victim or I can be a victor. And this every situation in life, it always comes down to that choice. That's where the defining moment comes in all the little decisions we make, which create the bigger decisions. Because if you say, well, I don't know that many people. I'm nervous about meeting people. I don't know how to meet people. What you're really saying is, I choose to be a victim. Now, when you say, I don't know that many people, I'm uncomfortable with meeting people, so this means I need to challenge myself. I'm going to need the fortitude and the self-discipline to make myself get better at this. What this really means is now you are saying, I'm choosing to be a victor. It's always going to come to those choices. People think that the defining moments in our life are the big decisions. What college to go to, the person we marry, where we choose to raise our children. And those are big decisions. But the big decisions are always created by the thousands of little decisions we face every day. Like health, you're a wellness company, right? So every morning when you wake up, you face a choice of what to have for breakfast, what to have for lunch, what to have for a snack, what to have for dinner. Are you eating healthy stuff? You're eating junk stuff. Because each time you make that little choice, which is simply what to have for breakfast, it's determining your blood pressure and your cholesterol and your energy level and your blood pressure and all of those things that could one day lead to a decision of, oh, do I need to schedule open heart surgery? Versus a decision of, hey, can I go out in the yard and play with my children? Or write at least 300 people? The truth is, you don't even have to do that anymore. Because everybody has a list. It's right in their smartphone. It's right in their Facebook page, their Facebook friends. And now you have a mobile app coming that will show you exactly how to work that list. So what's your job in that equation? It's how many new people can I meet and enter into my phone before that mobile app gets introduced? Because the bigger my candidate list is, the stronger my posture is going to be. Because I know I have an endless supply of qualified candidates to look at the business. So that's that second skill set. Remember we said there's 4 areas, 4 skill sets that we've got to be proficient in. And the second one is working the candidate list. This isn't rocket science. It's not really hard. It's a simple equation, but here's the few key points I want to tell you about this, and then we'll move on. But the key thing about your candidate list is it should be organic. It should be a living, breathing entity, meaning that it always should be changing. Because you're always needing more people. Every single person in the world meets between 8 and 15 people every week. Even if you're a sailor in the Navy and you're on a submarine at the ocean, I I promise you, there's enough people in that submarine that in the course of a week, you will meet 8 to 15 new people. If you're on a battleship, same thing. It doesn't matter where you live, big town, small town, what kind of work you do, if you're a living, breathing human being, you meet between 8 to 15 people every week. Let me suggest something else too, because remember, my job is to make you uncomfortable. Because some of you are thinking right now, well, I'm different. Randy doesn't understand my special circumstances. Because I just really don't know that many people because of my childhood and my job. I work in a lighthouse by myself and I turn the light for the ships at sea. Time out. Here's the truth. There's almost 10,000 people here. Of every single person in this auditorium, everyone knows at least 5,000 people that you could put on a list if I forced you to. Some of you would have 8,000 names, and there's at least 500 or 1,000 of you in this hall who could come up with 12,000 or 15,000 names if I forced you to. If I came over to your house and we sat you down on the computer and we said, okay, where did you grow up in your childhood? Who did you play with when you were 5 and 6 years old? Who was your kindergarten teacher? Who was your first grade teacher? Your second grade teacher? Who lived in the house on the left? Who lived in the house on the right? Who lived upstairs? Who lived downstairs? Where did you move next? Who lived on the left? Who lived on the right? Who lived upstairs? Who lived downstairs? 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. Where did you go to college? Did you go in the dorm room? Who was in the dorm on the left? Who was on the right? Who was upstairs? Who was downstairs? Where did you live when you got out of college? Who was izquierda? Who was derecho? Who was bajo? Whatever, below, whatever, right? We could go. We could say, who sold you your car? Who sold you your stereo? Who sold you your alfombra? Who sold you your Avon? Who sold you the supermarket? Who is your dry cleaner? Who is your doctor? Your dentist? Your chiropractor? Let the translators catch up. Right? If we really wanted to take 2 days, I could prove to you that you know at least 8,000 people. And the reason you don't have 8,000 people in your smartphone is simply a choice of how you work your candidate list. That's simple, because you really do know thousands of people. So here's the thing you need to know about a contact list. It's even though I'm making the point that you know thousands of people, the objective is not to get as big a list as possible. It's really not. You want to have a big enough list that gives you good posture. But the real objective of your